Hey, what's up, guys? It's Will with Exposing the IWC, and today we're going to be covering three topics. Those three topics are the IWC has turned on Jey Uso. Do I conclude myself in that? Am I a part of that? Maybe we'll see. People don't want good matches on TV, and we're also going to be talking about Lyra Valkyria and IYO Sky and how the WWE may have spoiled the result. In fact, I'm pretty sure they did, which is kind of annoying. But we'll dive into why I feel that way. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. If you're watching this on replay, make sure to hit up the comment section. Tell me what you think. And I'll definitely be in the comments reading your comments. So yeah, just do that. Boy. The WWE, whoever is doing these graphics, they're kind of confused because they may have actually spoiled the result. I'll explain why here in a second. But it's interesting how easy you can like make a mistake, I think, and give it away. What am I talking about? Well, last night, let's back it up. Let's back it all the way up, okay? Let's back it up. We are heading towards Saudi Arabia for the next PLE. And typically, not typically, always, when we go to Saudi Arabia, the women have to, they choose to dress a certain way. They want to respect the culture, the religion of the people there. So when we go there, the talent do not wear what they typically use. They usually will cover themselves up more. They'll cover up from pretty much the neck all the way to their feet, all the way up to the wrist, not showing much skin. They do that out of respect, out of the law, and for the law down there. A lot of things go into it, okay? They don't want to ruffle any feathers. That's what they do. What's up, chat? And that's fine. That's fine. Now, because of that, they actually go as far as to also edit the graphics and the match cards. So what they're wearing in the match cards, what they're wearing on the graphics, their body is also covered up. For example, here is the graphic for Bianca, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Jade. Now, as you can see, these matches are next week, which is not in Saudi Arabia, but I believe they are preparing themselves. They have made these edits, these renders for the Saudi show. As you can see, look at Tiffany's render. I've never seen that render before in my life. That is a new render for Tiffany. That is a render she's going to use for when she's in Saudi Arabia. So they've already got the renders ready for the Saudi Arabia match cards. Now, everyone you see here is a member of SmackDown, and the SmackDown before the PLE is also in Saudi. So that means it's possible that they all have matches on that SmackDown. So this is not really an indicator of what's going to happen on SmackDown per se, because again, all four of these women have to go to Saudi Arabia regardless, because SmackDown is in Saudi. So they have these renders ready for them. As you can see, there's no skin showing above below the neck. Okay, now here's a visual of what the match card was for Lyra Valkyria and Asuka 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, as you can see, this was the match card, Lyra Valkyria versus Asuka. It's showing plenty of skin there for both of them. Typical here in America, nothing too odd or interesting about this match card, right? Now, this is the updated recent match card for Lyra against IYO. Yeah, she's covered up. As you can see, there's no skin being shown below the neck. This is what it was before, and this is what it is now. Before, now. Before, now. Now, as you can see, IYO is still showing some skin. I believe this is an indicator of what's going to happen. I believe they screwed up. They have gone ahead and put together the render for Lyra Valkyria for her Saudi appearance. Now Lyra is on Raw. So the only reason why Lyra would show up to SmackDown or the PLE is if she's going to win her side of the bracket. I believe they done goofed. And whoever put together this match card chose the wrong render and made it damn obvious what's going to happen here. I believe Lyra is going to beat IYO. Now, when you actually sit back, actually pay attention to what's going on here, a lot of this kind of makes sense, right? It makes sense based on the booking. What do we see? They're pushing Lyra Valkyria pretty hard now. They're pushing her hard. They're giving her backstage interviews in the ring. She beat Zoe Stark clean. She beat Dakota Kai clean. And what happened last night? IYO Sky won her match clean, but when Becky was facing Dakota Kai, what happened? IYO Sky was out there looking like a henchman, looking like a background character with Kyrie, helping out Dakota Kai, and Lyra Valkyria came out there and assisted Becky Lynch. I believe they're setting it up for Lyra to beat IYO via a roll-up or some kind of sneaky finish. I believe Dakota Kai and Kyrie will be out there. Becky might come to her defense. There'll be some shenanigans. She won't cheat, of course. It'll be a clean win, but there'll be some shenanigans, and they'll protect IYO in a certain way. Okay, remember, Lyra Valkyria is the same woman that beat Becky Lynch clean. They had her beat Becky Lynch clean in NXT. If she can beat Becky Lynch clean, she can beat IYO. That is what it is, okay? So I believe, based on this goof, because they done goofed, I believe Lyra Valkyria will pin IYO Sky next week. Again, she won't put her down, right? She won't dominate her, but she'll sneak a roll up or something like that. And Lyra Valkyria will be heading to Saudi Arabia. I believe they done goofed. Now, I could be wrong, but the evidence tells me that this was a goof and Lyra is heading to Saudi. You thought IYO might win the whole tournament. I don't think so this time. I don't. Who I think wins the Queen of the Ring. At this point, it's Lyra or... This is a domino effect, though, in my brain, all right? It's a domino effect. If Lyra Valkyria is winning on this side of the bracket, that changes my thought a little bit for SmackDown. But let's think about this for a second. Let's think about it. Lyra beats IYO via roll-up or whatever, right? She sneaks a win, and she gets a heavy push. That's Dakota Kai, that's Zoe Stark, and that's IYO. Lyra, in her bodysuit over here, heads to Saudi Arabia. If that's the case, because like I said, this whole Becky Lynch Lyra damage control storyline is really entrenched now, and it looks like they had IYO Sky. Even the positioning of the women, right? She went out there and helped Becky. IYO Sky got knocked down by Becky. She had to roll out of there. And Lyra Valkyria stood tall. She stood tall on Raw. So it's almost like they're positioning her on the same level as IYO, or like a competitor to IYO in a way. I would not be surprised if they went ahead and have her win some way, but they'll try to protect IYO somehow. So if that's the case, and Lyra Valkyria is in fact winning this side of the bracket, then on SmackDown side, are we really going to get Jade Cargill against Lyra Valkyria? I don't buy it. This leads credence to the folks who think that Tiffany Stratton is going to go all the way. It does lead credence to that. My question is, if you're going to do that, and that would make sense, that matchup, Lyra versus Tiffany makes sense if you're going to do that match. They've wrestled before. They have plenty of matches. They have chemistry. They're comfortable with each other. I don't think you do Lyra versus Jade. I don't. It's possible, but I don't think you do that. And if that's the case, then Tiffany's got to go all the way. And if Tiffany is going all the way, then why the hell is Bianca and Jade even in this tournament? Why are they in the tournament? This doesn't make sense. So it's conflicting. On one hand, it doesn't make sense for Lyra to face Jade. It doesn't make sense in my head for that to be the matchup. A recent call-up against someone who's green, who you're trying to bring along. That doesn't work for me. On the other hand, it doesn't make sense to put Bianca and Jade in the tournament just for them to not, neither one of them to win it, and then for Bianca and Jade to be on the poster. Like, why are they on the poster if they're not going to have a match? Are they going to set up a tag team match this late in the game? it wouldn't be compelling or interesting at all. So what's going on here? No one's putting Jade yet. I would agree, which means they'll probably do some weird, funky, like count out or some nonsense like that. But if you have to do all that, why is Jade even in the damn tournament? So that leads me to Lyra versus Jade. That's where it's leading me to. I just don't think that makes sense to have those two wrestle. Tiffany versus Lyra doesn't benefit anyone. Jade versus Lyra doesn't benefit anyone either. Like, what do you gain having Jade Cargo beat up on Lyra? And if you're gonna have Jade Cargo win the whole thing, why the hell is she in a tag team? That's 4 substantial wins in a row. You beat Hyper, you beat Nia, you beat Tiffany, and then you beat Lyra, and then you're going back to the tag team division. Does that make any sense? No. Bianca and Jade is making things messy here. Is making things confusing. I understand them wanting to potentially have IYO lose to Lyra. You really want to push Lyra in the tournament. You think IYO doesn't need it? Fine. But then why is Bianca and Jade on the other side? And then why are you doing Jade versus Lyra Valkyria? And if you're not doing that, then why the hell are you booking Tiffany to beat Bianca and Jade? It's gonna be weird finishes. And if you have to do weird finishes, why are they even in the tournament? It's kind of weird. I can't really put my finger on exactly what he's doing. I can't. Something's not adding up. Something's not making sense. Like, what's the word? Oh, yeah, it doesn't track. Something doesn't track here. That's why I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. But I do believe that this was a goof, and Lyra Valkyria will be IYO. Cannot tell me with a straight face why they would bother making a render where Lyra is completely covered up and she's not going to Saudi. Why would they make this mistake? It's easier not to make the mistake. It's easier just to put the regular render. I think somebody made a mistake when putting together this image. They found this updated render and they used that render not without thinking. And now it's more clear that Lyra wins. And we actually think about it, how the booking's gone with Damage Control and Becky and Lyra, it makes sense that Lyra will get this win. They want to give her a big win. They probably think IYO doesn't need it. So Lyra is going to the finals. The question now is, who is she facing? That's what the question is now. And I'm not really sure. Like, I usually come on here with pretty confident in my thought process and what I think is going to happen. But Triple H is too weird now. He's not Vince. He's not predictable. So I don't know what's going to happen. I do think Bianca's going to lose to Tiffany. I do think Jade is going to beat Nia Jax. Then we get Jade versus Tiffany, which would be a weird one. Basically two new call-ups, basically. 2 call-ups. Never wrestled before. Then you have what? Nia Jax not going to get involved here? You have a clean match here? I don't know about that. And if Tiffany's going to cheat, which is possible, then she can win by cheating. Do I mind Jade getting pinned? No. But do I think they want Jade to get pinned? I don't think so. Yeah, so I don't know. Something's adding up, folks. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what's going to happen in that at all on Sunday. That's why it's interesting. It's exciting. I don't know, right? That leads to my another point that I'm going to get to later on. But we have 2 big matches on SmackDown. We have Bianca versus Tiffany and Jade versus Nia Jax. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen after. I think I know Bianca's going to win, but I'm not 100% sure. I think I know Jade's going to win. But that makes for interesting television when you're not quite sure what's happening, you know? I thought it was going to be IYO. But after further review, it looks like IYO will lose to Lyra. Yeah, I think IYO loses. Which would be interesting in the IWC because a lot of IYO fans are quite sure that IYO is going to win. So when they find out that Lyra wins, there's gonna be a situation where I believe IYO stands will team up with Liv Morgan stands because they're gonna think that Becky Lynch is putting her finger on the scale and she's trying to get her countrywoman over, and she's politicking behind the scenes to get Lyra in top positions. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how the IWC reacts to Lyra Valkyria beating IYO. It won't be pretty because IYO Sky fans are pretty serious online, I have to say. Yes, Tiffany beats Bianca. I agree. Tiffany beats Bianca. That's clear to me. With Bianca's knee injury, then again, Triple H, I don't trust him. He's a weird one. I don't trust anything that man does. So anything is possible with Triple H, but I do believe that Tiffany will win, and I think Jade will win. That's all I really know for sure. Oh, I got a. Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't freaking see it. Something happened on my screen. Oh, by the way, super chats and subscribers and all that stuff will pop up on the screen just so you know. Just so you know. But yeah, that is Oh, I got a new subscriber. Okay. Yeah, so that's the HPN. What's up? Yeah, so that is that's the story, folks. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's kind of exciting in a way because you don't know what's going to happen, you know? I don't mind having an idea in my brain what's going to happen as long as the execution is good. But here, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen on SmackDown. Becky confirmed as Sami Zayn's comedy show that her contract expires in 3 weeks. Sami Zayn has a comedy show? What you talking about? What's up, Pedro? A heel winning queen makes sense since both women's champions are baby faces. I'm 100% sure IYO wins. I think Lyra wins. Let me ask you a question. Let's say IYO wins. I want you to do something for me. Explain this. Just explain it. Explain this. Let's say IYO wins. Explain why they updated her render to be the Saudi version. I'm telling you guys, it just doesn't make sense. Now, if IYO wins, I'll say, wow, that's weird. Maybe that was a reach. But after seeing this image, and then after seeing how the booking has gone with Damage Control and Becky Lynch, I think Lyra will steal it. It won't be a clear-cut victory, she won't put her down for the 1, 2, 3 for sure. It'd be like a roll-up. The same way she beat Becky Lynch by roll-up, she'll beat IYO by the same kind of way. She'll steal it. That's how I see it happening. I don't see... Now, the winner is different. Both champions are baby faces. You're right. Which means Lyra might face Tiffany. But if they face Tiffany, how the hell do you get out of that Jade Tiffany match? I'm excited. I think there's gonna be madness. I think there's gonna be chaos. I'm excited about this. I think it's gonna be complete freaking I think madness is gonna take place. I think it's gonna be anger and people are gonna be upset. Ooh, man, mistake. I think people are gonna be actually upset about this. Truly. I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't. If you do, let me know. I just don't see it. This whole thing's jacked up over here. I just don't see it, folks. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm pretty sure that Lyra is going to win. That's all I really know. These graphics confuse me. Yeah, it's unpredictable. You think the editors are just dumb? I will say the booking is making me think Lyra, but for sure, I think it'd be smart for IYO to win. I think that's a smart call for IYO to win. But I have to say, these damn graphics are making it less likely. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying. Speaking of TV matchups and being excited, there's this idea online that certain matches are too good for TV. For example, the Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov match that was supposed to happen last night if they wanted to pull the trigger on it, but some people said that no, you know what? It's probably good that it's not happening. It's not worthy to be on Raw, or Raw is not worthy of it. It should be on a bigger stage, in a bigger match, in a PLE or a WrestleMania, for crying out loud. That's what they're saying. Here's the thing. This is what I'll say to that. I hate that thought process. I don't like it. This notion that only big matches can happen on certain shows and not on TV. Look, okay, I watch Raw and SmackDown every goddamn week, okay? I'm invested in the damn content. Folks who watch Raw and SmackDown should be rewarded. They should be rewarded with good matches every damn week. Give us something to be excited about. Just like how I'm excited about Jade versus Nia Jax and Bianca versus Tiffany. Give us something to be excited about. Give us something to want to look forward to every week. I should be happy. I should be wake up every morning. Hell yeah. I can't wait for Raw. I can't wait for SmackDown. Because we're getting big time matches. This notion that, what does this guy say on Twitter? That I can't remember what this person said. What exactly was the tweet? Let me find this tweet. This individual said this, because I responded to it. He said, here it is. Oh, let me pause this before I get copyright strike for showing the damn content. He said, the right decision. One of the most over wrestlers in the game and WrestleMania main eventer shouldn't lose to a call-up. Fine. Okay, then he says, Ilya Dragunov will be fine, and him and Gunther is too epic for Raw anyways. That's stupid. I'm sorry, Mr. Vic. That is stupid. Saying the match is too big for Raw it's stupid. I almost said something else. That's dumb, okay? Raw is your flagship show. You should make Raw as appealing as possible every damn week. This idea that a match can only happen on the biggest show is stupid. You can have a match on Raw, then have the rematch at a PLE, up the ante by making it a stipulation. You can make it a Iron Man match, a last man standing match. You can do whatever you want. You can add tables and chairs and ladders. This idea that the first time they touch has to be a PLE or big time, that's just so stupid. You can have a trilogy. It's the same thought process with Bianca and Rhea. They can't have Bianca Rhea till WrestleMania. So at no point would they ever touch until Mania. Can't have Bianca or Jade till Mania. So no point can they wrestle. It has to be Mania. Why can't it be a trilogy? Why can't it be a multiple matches? Why can't you just up the ante with the stipulation later on? Do Bianca and Rhea at one show, and then later on you can make it storyline driven. Right now, Ilya versus Gunther would not be storyline driven. You have a match now, and the next time when they actually wrestle again, it could be for a title, or it could be story driven, or like something more compelling that way. I hate the thought process that we can't have good matches on Raw, or we can't have big matches on Raw that the fans are excited about because Raw is not big enough. It's just stupid. I can't get behind that logic, and I never will. It's stupid. Reward the people that support your product every damn week. Now, I'm not saying Triple H is doing that. I'm talking about this thought process, this narrative. Technically, they gave us the bigger match, right? Technically, right? Jey Uso is over, like Rover. He's more popular with the fans. The fans wanted him to win. The average fan, right? He's popular. So they gave us the bigger match in terms of who's over. Gunther is over. Jey is over. Ilya's not over yet. So technically, they gave us the bigger match, right? Technically. In terms of appeal and who's over, they gave us the bigger match. But this idea that Ilya versus Gunther shouldn't happen because it's not big enough, it's too big for Raw, it's just stupid. It is stupid. I don't subscribe to that. I don't. And I never will. It doesn't make any sense to me. I can't get on board with that. Right. It increases the views. It makes people want to tune in. Makes Raw must see. Makes SmackDown must see. Oh, I can't wait to watch this match. I can't wait to see this. That's what you're supposed to do. This notion that it shouldn't happen because the match is too big, it's just stupid. We've seen so many bangers on Raw in the main event. Make the shows feel special. Make them feel epic. You can always go back to the match. You can make it more interesting by way of a storyline or by way of a stipulation. But to avoid it because it's on Raw or SmackDown, it's just dumb. Make Raw and SmackDown must see. For example, I can't wait for Bianca versus Tiffany. I think I know who's going to win, but who knows with Triple H, right? That's compelling. It's compelling. How are they going to do it? How is it going to turn out? How are they going to execute it? I think I know who's going to win between Nia Jax and Jade. I think I know, but still, it's a match I want to see. Those are two WrestleMania matches that I thought was going to happen at Mania, right? It's exciting. It makes SmackDown seem big. It's the same for Ilya versus Gunther. Like, I hate this thought process that you can't have big matches on Raw and SmackDown. That's counterproductive. I hope they don't feel that way. It's one thing for these dumbass IWC accounts to feel that way, but I'm hoping that they don't. Okay, I'm hoping that the talent and the creative don't feel that way. Put the big matches on the big shows, and put them on SmackDown and Raw. You can do both. There's more than enough talent to go around. There's more than enough big matches. Hell, we never even seen Dakota Kai versus Becky until last night. Good, something interesting, something new. We've never seen that match. Dakota versus Becky. That's something different. It's been a while since we've seen Io Sky versus Shayna Baszler. Another big match. Okay, do that. I mean, I just can't get behind this whole thought process that no Raw and SmackDown can have those matches. No, they should. They should. Make those shows interesting. I think Lyra doesn't beat Io. That damage show goes to Saudi and costs Lyra. This Tiffany wins the ring. Rings Queen of Ring. Becky and Lyra feud with damage control. So Tiffany's going to beat Jade and Bianca, right? That's what you're saying? Book that. Book that. That's what I would say. Book that. How do you book Tiffany beating Bianca and Jade? It's interesting. Tiffany's interesting. Like, what are they doing with her? She was a third round pick, right? Bianca was the first round pick. Jade was the first round pick. She was a third round pick. She lost clean to Naomi. That's the thing about Tiffany. Tiffany cheated to beat Naomi. She had to cheat to beat her. And then she got pinned by Naomi clean. So not like they're booking her super strong, right? She's losing clean to Naomi. So how strongly are they planning on booking her? SmackDown side of the bracket for women is fascinating. It really is. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know, which makes it kind of exciting. But potentially it can be a IWC disaster. But I kind of like the chaos so much sometimes, though. I kind of like when the IWC is freaking out. So Bianca and Jade, to me, were in the tournament to begin with to build a tag team feud. Okay. With Indy and Candice? So are you suggesting that... Oh, okay. That's who you thought, at least. Okay, I hear you saying. Maybe Nia injures both Jade and Bianca. That's interesting. So Bianca's injured now. Then you have Jade injured. My question is, why? Oh, okay, unless you're saying this, they're doing it to set up a feud with them, fine. Because my question is going to be, why the hell did you put them in the damn tournament? Why are they in there? But you're saying potentially to set up a feud with Nia Jax and maybe Tiffany or whatever. Okay, it just seems kind of messy. It still seems kind of messy. Well, yeah. That's another thing. They put Tiffany. Okay, thank you for reminding me, David. Thank you. They put Tiffany match on a live event. They put her match on a live event. Why would you do that if the plan was for her to win the damn thing? In my mind, they picked and choose what didn't need to be on TV. Jade match needed to be on TV. Bianca's match needed to be on TV, and Nia Jax's match needed to be on TV. Why? Bianca had to be on TV because you had to see why she's going to lose to Tiffany. We had to see the injury. The injury angle was important. They wanted us to know Bianca's going to be hurting her knee in this match, so that's why she's going to lose later on. So it had to be on TV. Jade's match had to be on TV because I think she's going to win this side of the bracket. You want to see her win? Look at how she beats Hyper Niven. Look at how she advances. She's going to face Nia Jax. You want to see that match? Nia versus Naomi. You don't have to see Tiffany's match, in my mind, because she's not going to win. If she's going to win, why the hell would you put her match off TV? Doesn't make any sense. Again, remember, guys, they're in control of the script. The writers are in control of the script. They didn't make this. The hand of God didn't come down and say, you must make this bracket. They chose this bracket. They chose this, right? They made the decision to put Tiffany's match off TV. Now, maybe they miscalculated. They thought they'd be able to have them all on TV. But no, they still could have chose her match. They could have put Nia Jax and Naomi off TV. They could have done that. If Tiffany was going to win. If Tiffany was going to win, they could have put Nia Jax and Naomi on the live event. So why, if you know Tiffany's going to win, why would you put her match on the Saturday? Doesn't make sense to me. Again, Triple H is weird. That's the thing. You have to remind ourselves. Triple H booking is weird. He's weird sometimes. Like, I've been bad at predicting him. I'm bad with predicting Triple H. So I'm not going to pretend like I know. So going forward, I'm just going to call out what makes sense. Doesn't make sense to me to put Tiffany match off TV if she's going to win. Doesn't make sense to book Jade Cargill to win 4 matches in a row if she's going to stay in the tag team division. It makes sense for IYO Sky to win the Queen of the Ring because she's a single star right now. You could maybe put her up against Becky Lynch. That makes sense. Makes sense to book Tiffany to win before this whole triple threat thing. It would have made sense. Now it doesn't so much because now she had to beat Bianca and Jade in a row. And if she just lost to Bayley, unless you want to run back that match 1-on-1, Bayley versus Tiffany 1-on-1, you can do that, I guess. That one thing that would make sense, that you're booking Tiffany. Tiffany wasn't pinned, right? Naomi was pinned by Bayley. Tiffany was out of the ring. So now if Tiffany wins the Queen of the Ring, then she challenges Bayley. That would make sense. But then why would you have her beat Bianca and Jade? And why would you have her match off TV? None of it makes sense. None of it tracks. None of it. The only thing that tracks is IYO winning. IYO winning against Jade. Because Nia Jax gets involved or Damage Control gets involved. That's one thing that makes sense. IYO beating Jade is the only thing that makes sense in my head. That I can track. Everything else is kind of weird. The editors were just lazy. They went out of their way, Pedro. They went out of their way to make this render. They went out of the way to make this render, right? They didn't have to use this render. They could use this one. They could use this one. They went out of their way to use this one. Why? Why did they even make this render? Why did they make this render? Maybe she already had it, but why choose that one? Why? I could be wrong. Like I said, I think IYO should win, but it just doesn't make sense. That's all. Especially considering the fact that you have these new ones here, right? This is a new render for Tiffany, right? So they have the Saudi Arabia in their brain. So they had to make that Tiffany one because we've never seen that before. So that leads me to believe that that's on their brain, is on their mind. So they've been using all the updated renders, which would make sense if they're making Lyra's for the Saudi show. But again, I hope I'm wrong. All right, let's talk about Jey Uso. Good old Jey Uso. Now I was shitting on Jey a little bit last night. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of giving him some shit. Why? Because why was I giving him shit? I was giving him shit because I was not impressed with his performance of late, especially considering what happened at Mania. Jey Uso's stock in the IWC has fallen to like the dirt. The IWC is shitting on Jey Uso. It didn't help that they beat their guy in Ilya Dragunov. Truth of the matter is, Jey Uso is kind of boring. Does the same thing over and over again. Does a little spit in his hands, punches the guy, right? Spits in his hand. He eats over and over again. Does the yeet thing. Does super kicks, does the his punches, he does his little spear, his little frog splash or whatever. I'm sorry, not the Uso splash, whatever the hell it is. He's kind of boring. His matches are kind of formulaic. I thought that Ilya Dragunov did the best he could. I thought that was probably Ilya's worst match in a while, and it's not his fault. It's kind of like, you know, it is what it is. I'm not impressed with Jey Uso, but the fans love him, and he's over at like Rover. So as long as he's super over, it doesn't matter what I think. He's going to get every opportunity to shine on TV. Jey Uso is beloved by the crowd, so that's not going to change anytime soon. So the IWC is going to be upset all day long. But I don't think his push is going to end anytime soon. It's easy to forget that he was not supposed to be in this tournament. It was supposed to be Drew McIntyre, not Jey. Jey was a late addition because Drew was freaking not medically cleared. I'm not quite sure what the plan was. I guess Drew McIntyre was going to go to the finals and then lose to Gunther via the CM Punk interference, maybe. But now Jey's going all the way to the semifinals. He had better lose to Gunther. Be weird if he did beat Gunther. He has to lose to Gunther. My question is, are you tired of Jey Uso? That's my question. Are you like everyone else? Are you kind of like me? We're kind of getting tired of seeing him in the main event. I know his name is Main Event Jey Uso. Are you getting tired of it? Are you still hyped about his inclusion in the top shelf of the WWE, the top matches? Are you looking forward to his match against Gunther? Are you looking forward to this continued push? Because it ain't going anywhere. I mean, they're leaning into it. They're leaning into him being a top star. He was a top draft pick after Bianca on the first day of the draft, you know? So Jey Uso wrestling is the only thing that I can really criticize. Yeah, well, the yeeting is kind of annoying. I hate those glasses, those yeet glasses. I don't like that either. I don't like the glasses. The yeeting is fine, but in the match, he does too much yeeting. Trying to get the crowd to yeet with him. It's just what it is. It's kind of goofy. That's all. It's goofy. That's not a reason why that match is bad. The time is not a reason why it was bad. It was badly booked. It was a super kick fest. Like, it being short was not the problem. You reunite the Usos. Yeah, I think so. That's what they need to do. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Not until they want to actually continue the Bloodline storyline with The Rock. He's the number one babyface on Raw. Correct. He is. He is. With Seth being out, with Seth out, with CM Punk not really there, he's the number one babyface on Raw. For sure. He is. And he was drafted that way. He was drafted number one on Raw. First overall pick for Raw. So yeah, he is the top babyface. Yeah, his matches just aren't that compelling to me. It's the same thing. Same thing, the same movements, the same spots. Maybe they did some different spots. Same spear out of nowhere. Same goofy spit in the hands, which is disgusting, by the way. He spits in his hands and punches the guy. Same stuff. Super kick, spear. You know, eating. And he always does it like a little slow to just get the yeet in there. So the crowd goes along with the yeeting. Every time he hits the yeet, so he times it now to going like in line with the crowd. That's kind of annoying. Jey was traded to SmackDown soon to feud with Solo and Bloodline 2.0. I want to see that. That'd be interesting. Get Jade off of Get Jey back to SmackDown with his brother to feud with the Judgment Day. That's what I want to see. This run, because they're not going to put a belt on him. He's not going to get the belt. He's not going to beat Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is a babyface. He's not going to take the belt off of Damian. That's a Drew thing, and Drew's going to be feuding with CM Punk. So what is he going to be doing? Just taking up the top babyface spot without actually having any top matches, you know? He needs some new moves. He needs more than that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of samey. That's all. I'm not the biggest fan, but being single for now is best business. He's popular. It's the smart decision. Like, him beating Ilya was smart by the WWE. I'm not arguing whether it was smart or not. It's smart. I just don't love it personally, my personal preference, I don't love it, but it makes sense from a business standpoint to have Jey Uso beat Ilya. Ilya is not over, Jey is. Like, it makes sense. I just don't love it. That's all. That's all. What else is going on these days? I believe, what's the NXT card? We got some big matches in NXT today. His promos can be kind of one cringe. I can't see the stupid chat because I have it like, here it is. His promos can be kind of cringe at times. When we don't like, you don't like the yeet down. You don't like the let me say yeet. Yes, it's cringe, but the crowd loves it. So it's kind of cringe for sure, but the crowd loves it. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's bad, man. It sucks because he's over. So he wanted to say he's over, but I'm kind of getting annoyed. I'm kind of getting annoyed by it. That's the honest truth. Let me say, he say yeet. Don't catch the yeet down. It's the same thing over and over again. He's not winning gold anytime soon. So if you're not winning gold, what are you doing? I don't know. Let me hear you say yeet. What else did I have? Those are the three main topics I want to talk about. I think Lyra is beating IYO Sky. I think Jey Uso is kind of annoying, but he's over, so what are you going to do about it? And I think the notion that only certain matches should happen on PLEs and not Raw and SmackDown is dumb, because those shows need to be exciting and interesting as well. Jey got some great matches with Roman in 2020. His matches are, that's what matters. Yeah, that's what matters to WWE. My personal preference, I don't love it. A lot of people don't fear Jey has some great matches with Roman. Why is he not updating over here? Oh, it is. I am certain that Becky's new contract will be the biggest in women's history. Will it though? Let's talk about Becky's contract for a second. Let's talk Becky's contract. I believe Becky might be entering a part-time role. And if that's the case, I don't think she's going to get top dollar. You don't get top dollar for top time, for halftime or part-time, right? So I think with her schedule and with her daughter, I think she'll be cutting back. And they're trying to iron out the details of that. They're trying to iron out what her role will be going forward. Because I think when she loses to Liv Morgan, once Liv Morgan wins the title and Becky Lynch is kind of out of the fray because the story is between Liv Morgan and Rhea, I think she's going to take a back seat, maybe take some time off, maybe be more part-time. I don't know. I don't know if they want to keep the daughter on the road as much. She's going to get paid, but not the most. Not that she's going to be top. Not that she's going to be part-time. I don't think so. Then again, I'm not a business person, so maybe they would pay her top dollar for part-time. That doesn't make sense to me. Not with the talent they have. I think they'll probably give her a good contract, but not top dollar. If she's part-time, is she full-time? That's a completely different story. Is she full-time? She'll probably get Charlotte Flair money. Is she full-time? She'll get whatever Charlotte Flair's getting, maybe a little bit more. That's about it. Becky's in the Drew McIntyre situation. She ain't leaving. Yeah. I agree. She already said that she's only WWE or she's WWE girl, so she's not going to AEW. That's for damn sure. So it just depends on what they're going to work out. What would Damage Control do? What would they do if Becky is part-time? What would Damage Control do? Damage Control will probably feud with her part-time. And who's on Raw again? That's a damn good question. She's the obvious choice for a Damage Control feud. Again, maybe who's on Raw roster? I don't remember. With themselves, yeah. There you go. Damage Control split up. IYO goes babyface. That's the story right there. IYO goes he babyface, and IYO faces Dakota Kai. That's a legitimate story there. IYO versus Damage Control, or IYO versus just Dakota Kai. Kiana James. It looks like Kiana James is going to be the understudy of Adam Pearce. That's interesting. I wonder what they're doing with her. Will she be an assistant GM for a while, working under Adam Pearce? Will she end up surpassing Adam Pearce and kicking Adam Pearce aside? Will she take over as GM completely? Will she be like a wrestler GM role, kind of similar to what's happening with what happened with what's her face? She's injured now. What's her name? I'm not blinking on her name. Who was the GM for a while that was also wrestled? Start with an S. What is her? Why am I blanking on? She's injured. She tore her ACL. Why am I blanking on this woman's name? Oh my gosh, that's weird. Sonya Deville. Jeez, my goodness gracious! I finally got it out. Wow, Sonya Deville. Yes. Wow. Sorry, Sonya. I could not think for my life what your name was. It's funny because I had her image up here a second ago. Her image is up here a second ago. That's hilarious. Like she was here with Charlotte Flair. And I cannot remember her name. That's hilarious. Sonya Deville. I don't know why I blinked. Sonya Deville was GM for a while. Now it'll be maybe Kiana James, but she's also going to wrestle. But we'll see. It looks like she's going to be under Adam Pearce for a while. So we'll see how that goes. So that's her direction. That's her storyline. And then we have, she's young. She's like 26 years old. So there's plenty of time for Kiana. Kiana James is 26. So she's got plenty of time to go. So she has plenty of time. So I'm interested to see what they do with her. There's time to cook with her. She's only 1 year older than Tiffany. Yep. Tiffany's 25. She's 1 year older than Tiffany. Plenty of time to work with Kiana. So this angle with Adam Pearce, this angle right here, I'm not worried about it at all. She has time to cook. We'll see what they do. Obviously look like a star. Obviously this looks like $1 million here. This is a great talent to work with. You want the Unholy Union on Raw. They are on Raw. Oh, they're probably wrestling like on dark matches, stuff like that. Unfortunately, I love the Unholy Union. I like Alba Fire. I love Isla Dawn. I want them on TV as well. But I don't know what's happening with them. Hopefully, eventually, they'll be on TV more. But I don't know what's happening. I think Damage Show needs to split up rather than later. You think they need to split up now? How do you do that? I agree with you. Like, I don't love Damage Control right now. And with probably better for them to split up. Honestly, it probably would be. I think Io Sky, the reaction she got last night was awesome for her. That was her best reaction ever. So might as well turn her babyface, I say. They are main event as well, yeah. You might as well just turn her babyface. I think Io Sky can have a good babyface run. And she feeds with Dakota. And then ultimately, I would have Dakota Kai win Money in the Bank. That's just me. I like Dakota Kai. I want to reward her for her hard work. Other people disagree. They want to see Tiffany win it. But I think Dakota Kai is the right choice because of the work she put in. So we put Dakota Kai the Money in the Bank. Then she turns on Io Sky maybe. Io Sky goes babyface. I like that choice. I like that choice. That would be my choice. That's my preference. But I know not everyone agrees with that. Some people would rather have Tiffany Stratton win. I think Tiffany's push is strong enough, okay? I think Dakota Kai would benefit from that Money in the Bank. So that's what I would do. Give her the Money in the Bank. That's a discussion for another day. Who wins Money in the Bank? But that's what I would do. Let's see what else. Io Sky winning Queen of the Ring, Dakota Kai Money in the Bank. I would love that. I would love that. The OG damage control. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love that. Like I said, Lyra's going to win that thing, I think, now. It's going to be Lyra. What's happening on NXT real quick? NXT. Or not cage ratings. Oh, I meant actual NXT. WWE results. NXT. I think the tournament for the North American titles tonight. Well, at least the start of it. Let's see. Like I said before, where's the actual? They don't have the actual match set up here yet. But like I said before, Roxanne Perez is not going to be involved with any of the babyfaces on NXT. If you haven't noticed, all the top babyfaces that can beat Roxanne, like Kalani Jordan, like a Sol Ruka, like a Thea Hill, they're all now in the tournament for the North American title because they want them away from Roxanne because they're saving Roxanne for Julia. So they're going to keep giving Roxanne one-offs like Chelsea Green, like maybe another NXT, maybe someone else come down from NXT from the main roster. For example, maybe a Tegan Knox, maybe Tegan versus Roxanne Perez. You keep doing that, and then he calls up Julia, right? So all the top baby faces are in the North American tournament for the women, and Roxanne will just be fed a bunch of one-offs going forward. So I think they don't have the lineup for today, but I think we're getting like Sol Ruka's match and something else. Let's see something real quick. NXT. WWE NXT. Let's see what's going on here. Here it is. Pause this. We're getting Easy Dame against Sol Ruka. That's an easy one for Sol Ruka. Easy money. That's fried chicken for Sol Ruka. Then we're getting Lash versus Ivy Nile. Lash had better win. That's all I'm going to say to that. What else we got here? Let me go to this split screen. So Lash had better win. And Sol Ruka had better win. We got some more drama between. This is filler if you've ever seen one. There's Noam Dar versus Trick Williams. Great filler stuff. I don't know what the end game is for Trick Williams, like the big match. I don't know what that would be. But Noam Dar ain't it. Noam Dar is not it. I don't know who they're going to build up to take on Trick Williams. The men's wrestling scene, the men's NXT division, kind of weak right now. Kind of weak. Kind of on the, not as positioned as well as the women right now. So I don't know what's going to happen for the men. Right now, Trick is the top star by far, and nobody else is really like contending with him. That's on the heel side, so or even on the babyface side, because Braun Breaker's out, Carmella's out, Ilya's gone. Who are they going to build up to be that challenger for Trick Williams? I don't know. I have no idea. Anybody have a guess? Because I sure as hell does not know who's going to be facing Ilya anytime soon. But you guys can maybe tell me. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. D'Angelo Goon Squad is a big contender. Can I confess something? I don't like Tony D. I don't like the Mafia. What the hell are they doing with the Mafia? I don't like it. I'm not a fan of Tony D, Stacks, any of that. I just don't like it. Maybe that's just me, but I think it's not going to translate to the main roster. And because it's not going to translate, I have a hard time investing in it. You know, it is what it is for NXT, but I don't think it's going to translate at all to the main roster. I think they're going to be in trouble. Tony D and Stacks and all them. I don't love it. It's probably a bad gimmick for the main roster, honestly. But yeah, that's it, right? Tony D. No, they're in their baby faces right now. Anyway, they're baby faces. Maybe Obafemi, but he's a champion now. So, what the hell will Blair do? Because they showed her promo package last week. They got Blair Davenport face Bailey at Clash at the Castle. That would work. They can have her face Mia Yim. I think she'd be in the singles division. So Mia Yim is there, or Bailey. I would love to see her face Bailey right away. She's experienced. She wrestled all over the world. She's not like your typical NXT call up. She's been a professional for a long time, so she can handle it. I would have her go ahead and like start feuding with Bailey in a way. That's what I would do. I wouldn't run away from it. Piper's in a tag team though. I mean, you could do it, but she just lost to freaking Jade. She lost to Jade. So she's coming off a loss. Blair's fresh and new. She's not coming off a loss. Well, she did lose in NXT, but that doesn't count, right? That doesn't count. She lost to Soruka, but that doesn't matter. Ty Dillinger versus Trick Williams. I don't know about that one. Sean Spears. That just goes to show you the situation we're in. You're booking Sean Spears to take on Trick Williams. How old is Trick Williams? 29. I thought younger than that. 29, 43, 40, 29. It's not terrible, but like they gotta figure something out. I don't want to see what's his face. I'm blanking on everybody's name. Who's the dude? What's his name that freaking keep injuring people? He accidentally he's responsible for Big E's injury. Oh my god, what's his name? I'm blanking right now, folks. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Not Butch, but Rich Holland. Jeez, yeah, that's his name. Yeah, Rich Holland. Maybe do Rich Holland versus Trick Williams. That'll work. Ridge versus Trick. The options are slim picking down there. The women's division is stacked with talent. The men's, Maybe do Ivar against Trick Williams. He's been gunning at Obafemi. Josh Briggs, not interesting. I don't know, man. It could be rough. It's gonna be rough sailing for whoever they book. It could be rough sailing. All right, folks. That is it for the stream. Tonight should be fun. NXT is always a fun watch, always. So that'd be great. They drafted a lot of NXT stars. They did. Do me a favor, like this video, leave a comment, share the video if you want. We will be back probably next week. No, next day, tomorrow probably. Talk about something. We'll see. Maybe something happened in NXT. Maybe get some news drops or something like that. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Can you say next week? Tomorrow, potentially. See y'all tomorrow. IWC is crazy. Don't let them change you. They're crazy. And they'll always be exposed, all right? They're always going to be exposed. All right, later.